Are you serious, guys? Well, I'm very serious. Wow. What can I say? Wow. You know, if you don't realize we're living in the last days, I don't know what I could do to convince you. Let me tell you what's going on. We have incredible news. Shocking what's happening, but it's all in the Bible. And this being 16 years, March 1st, 16 years on the air, 16 years doing this every day, telling you about the current world events and how they relate to biblical prophecy. This is one of the most prophetic days in the entire 16 years. This might be the most prophetic day in the entire 16 years. Let me tell you all about it in just a second. Let's put a shout out right now, if you don't mind, guys, for PastorPaulGold.com. That's www.pastorpaulgold.com, or you can call them on the phone at 877-646-5347. Look, there's new numbers out of Washington are showing inflation is on the rise, okay? Another threat to you, your savings account, and your retirement. You ask yourself an honest question. Does your dollar go as far as it did 10 years ago? Or how about 5 years ago? What about last year even? You see, so what does this next decade look like for you and me and our savings? If your portfolio lacks exposure to gold, one of the history's most reliable economic hedges, matter of fact, gold, a biblical currency, it's time to rethink the strategy. In this uncertain world, certainly, gold has kept up with inflation. Okay. God used gold from the beginning of time to use as a hedge. And in many periods, gold has outpaced it. My friends, Noble Gold Investment has specialized in helping people protect their wealth and with physical gold and silver. Whether you're rolling over an IRA or making a direct purchase, the team at Noble Gold will walk you through the entire process and make it very simple. Okay? No pressure, no education and experience. Right now, all you need to know is all new qualified accounts will receive a free 1/10 of an ounce American gold eagle coin. They will give it to you for free. That's worth over $500. They'll give it to you for free. It's 1/10 of an ounce gold, American gold eagle coin. Find out all about it. Go to PastorPaulGold.com. That's www.pastorpaulgold.com, and you'll be very glad that you did. Wow. Well, I'll tell you what, this as we're moving into this India crusade, we are so thankful for so many of you who have been stepping up and have giving from the bottom of your heart. 5 nights crusade in India we're going to do. People are asking, am I safe? Yes, I am. I'm not in the Middle East. I'm in the Far East, okay? And so we're working on the India crusade. Everything is fine where I am, except there's definitely some censorship going on with the television. CNN, Fox News, we don't even have an MSNBC, BBC News, all of the news agencies are frozen on the television, but I still have access. And so thank God for that. Matter of fact, let me tell you just now what's going on. Uh, yes, the Ayatollah Ali Khamenei is dead. He is dead. His arrogancy, his believing that he is some type of supreme leader, his father who created the revolution 47 years ago, and then the Ayatollah Ali Khamenei who took over in 1989, who's been in power since 1989, ruthlessly executing people, butchering people, torturing people, using evil and demonic, tormented force and brutality and oppression upon the civilian population of Iran, spending all of their economic money to build weapons, to buy weapons, to advance technologies of killer drones, to ship unbelievable multiple billions of dollars worth of arms to the Houthis in Yemen, to Hamas in Gaza, to the Hezbollah in Lebanon, funding some of the other radical Islamist groups over in Syria and Iraq. I mean, and building up all kinds of ballistic missiles and military. They spent a absolute their entire economy on one goal: to eliminate Israel from the face of the earth. That was their goal. One goal: to create the apocalypse, to create the end time apocalyptic theology of their end time apocalyptic eschatology. They believed they had to destroy Israel so that the 12th Imam, the Mahdi, would come back from heaven with Jesus Christ, sort of like Batman and Robin, Jesus being Robin, to come and bring truth and justice to the earth by murdering all the infidels, which includes you and me and every Christian and Jew on the planet. This ideology, this brutal regime who butchered and murdered and cut people's fingers off and shot out their eyes and executed and hung them every day. The Ayatollah Khomeini is dead. I repeat, he is dead. Not only him, but they say the top 40 officials of this regime. And this fulfills prophecy. The Ayatollah Ali Khamenei is dead. And if the president is dead also, and reports I'm getting is he is, then it absolutely is right down the line of the prophecy of Jeremiah 49, where God said that he would break the bow of Iran. Break the bow of Iran. That would be their nuclear capability. Let me read it to you, and then I'm going to tell you what the news articles are saying. The Bible says in Jeremiah 49, you guys have heard me say this. I probably have talked about this more than any preacher on the internet, no doubt about it, over the last 16 years, that one day this prophecy was going to happen. Well, that day has happened today. Listen to this. The word of the Lord that came to Jeremiah the prophet against Elam or Iran in the beginning of the reign of Zedekiah, the king of Judah. So that's when he received this prophecy, in the beginning of the reign of Zedekiah, the king of Judah. Thus saith the Lord of hosts, behold, I will break the bow of Iran, the chief of their might. And upon Iran will I bring the four winds from the four quarters of heaven, and I will scatter them toward all those winds, and there shall be no nation whither the outcast of Elam shall not come. Well, the four winds are right now are raining down on Iran, but he's not done. Look at this prophecy. For I will cause Iran to be dismayed before their enemies. And that's happened. All the Arab brothers are turning on Iran right now. I'll tell you why. And before them, they seek their life. That's happening. And I will bring evil upon them, even my fierce anger, saith the Lord. And I will send the sword or war after them till I have consumed them. It's happening right now. And it will continue to happen for the next days, if not weeks. And I will set my throne in Iran. It's going to happen. And I will destroy from thence the king. That's the Ayatollah Ali Khamenei. And the prince. That's the president of Iran, saith the Lord. But it shall come to pass. When will this happen, Jeremiah? When does this happen, Jeremiah? But it shall come to pass in the latter days that I will bring again the captivity of Iran, saith the Lord. You're living in the latter days. Everything on this prophecy has come to pass. Every bit of it. The only thing that hasn't is I will set my throne in Iran. God is saying, I will set my throne in Iran. In other words, Christianity will become the leading religion of Iran. That may take a few months. That might take just a few years. but it will happen. There's already a revival spreading throughout Iran. Absolutely. And you guys have been you guys, all of you that are part of this amazing online church, I've been preaching this to you. I've read the scripture to you. I've brought this forward every time that, I've seen it coming for years. For 16 years online, I've talked about it. I've done television shows about it. I've done interviews about it. I wrote a book called Revelation 9/11 about it. And I'm writing a book right now called Trump versus the Beast. And you can know the events of today will be in that book. Matter of fact, I'll be getting a hold of Troy Anderson, my co-author, and we'll be writing this chapter in for sure, because it is absolutely coming to pass right before our very eyes. Trump versus the Beast. You can get a copy of it. You can order your copy of it. Get your order in now at Amazon.com if you'd like. It's going to be shipping May the 6th. It will be shipping May the 6th. And like I said, we're about 75% of the way done writing it, but we have to turn it in to Newsmax, our publisher, on March the 9th. So, wow, this chapter of what we're watching right now will absolutely go in there, because this is Trump versus the Beast. Well, who is the Beast? Well, I'll explain it to you in the book. I'll explain to you in the book that the beast, according to Revelation 13, has 7 heads. Those heads all have the name blasphemy. And Iran and the radical Islamic regime of Iran, radical Islam, is one of the 7 heads of blasphemy. So is communism. So is alienism. And I can go on and on and on. There's 7 heads to this monster. All of them have the name blasphemy. It's what it says. And then these 7 heads have 10 horns. Those 10 horns, I believe, are the 10 powerful industries of the world. Big tech, big media, big business, big bank, big food, big pharma, the military industrial complex, and on and on and on. And we will break down those 10 kings of Revelation as they report to the 7 heads of the beast. Trump is battling them all. It's not Trump. I have to use his name in the title because that will grab the attention of the reality of what's happening. But God is using Donald Trump. He is using Donald Trump. He chose him for such a time as this to help bring about the coming of the Lord Jesus Christ, to help Christianity to explode with the greatest revival in history around the world, including in Iran. He's using Trump to protect Israel, who is being hated on by the world. Did you see the Democrats? Have you seen the Democrats today? Have you seen the reaction? It's unbelievable. But first, let's talk about the Ayatollah Khomeini is dead. He was holding a special meeting this morning in his compound and called all of his top leaders there. So that's why Israel dropped the bomb on his head, and they killed him in daylight during the Sabbath, during Ramadan. You talk about a holy war. Let me read to you about that, and then I'm going to tell you what little Mandami is saying. Iran has, it's incredible. Multiple Arab states, though, have now been attacked by Iran. Okay, so after the United States, after Israel destroyed and killed the Ayatollah Ali Khamenei, apparently also the president and the entire leadership of Iran, Iran then began to target the United States assets across the Gulf Arab states in a retaliation for the huge joint attack on Iran by the United States and Israel. The Iranian government confirmed that its attacks on several targets, including, and this is being reported by the Fars news agency of Iran, but Iran was able to hit Bahrain, Kuwait, Qatar, and the United Arab Emirates, and have fired a lot of ballistic missiles at Saudi Arabia and at Israel. Now, I know for sure a ballistic missile got through the Iron Dome and landed right in the middle of Tel Aviv, hitting an apartment complex. One person is dead, 20 some are injured, and they're digging through the rubble for potentially more bodies. Iran's Islamic Revolutionary Guard Corps claimed, hang on a second, hang on, Heidi, I'll help you. I'm live right now. You're a lightweight? No, you're fine.
It's fine, it's just a cinch.
Come right in. Step down here, then I can see. Yeah, inch by inch, it's a cinch, and that's for sure, isn't it, Heidi? But this operation, this is a report by Al Jazeera, okay? And Al Jazeera is saying that these nations have all been hit: Bahrain, Kuwait, Qatar, the United Arab Emirates, and we're getting news that that there was an attack on Dubai airport. I'm not sure what happened there yet. We also know that ballistic missiles have been fired at the airport in Saudi Arabia, but that Saudi Arabia has been able to shoot those down, I'm sure with the help of the United States. And then, of course, they're firing a lot of missiles at Israel. And one of those ballistic missiles did get through the Iron Dome, and it landed right in central Tel Aviv. One person's dead, 20 some are injured, and the death toll is expected to rise. Now, in Abu Dhabi, the capital of the United Arab Emirates, one person is dead after several missiles launched by Iran were intercepted, but fragments, I guess, of one of those missiles, when it came down, hit near a hotel and killed one person in Abu Dhabi, there in the United Arab Emirates. Also in Bahrain, a missile attack targeting the headquarters of the U.S. Navy's Fifth Fleet, which is in the capital of Manama. The government called it a treacherous attack in Bahrain and a blatant violation of the kingdom's sovereignty and security. Later, footage began to circulate on social media, appearing to show an Iranian sashed drone smashing through the tower block located near the headquarters, setting the building ablaze. The Interior Ministry said several residential buildings in Bahrain's capital had also been hit, reporting, and that civil defense was engaged in firefighting, and there were rescue operations going on right now. Matter of fact, Shahi Abdullah bin Rashid Al Khalifi, he is Bahrain's ambassador to the United States. He said the attacks against the kingdom of Bahrain was a blatant violation of their sovereignty. Now, let me tell you what else is going on in Kuwait. Give me 1 second here. In Kuwait, it's a very fluid situation, guys. This is very, very fluid. All right, everything's okay. It's very fluid. Give me one moment here. I've got a picture of, yeah, here it is. This is a picture of the initial explosion that hit the Ayatollah Ali Khamenei's compound. The first strike was Israel. As the smoke was rising, Israel got the first, was given the first hit, and they went straight for the Ayatollah Ali Khamenei. And the reason they went ahead and hit him early Saturday morning on the Sabbath, on Ramadan, is because the Ayatollah Khamenei summons his top 40 leaders for a meeting, not expecting to get hit in the middle of the day, in daylight. They did not expect that. But when it appeared that, you know, when a Mossad, Israelis spies, was able to identify that this was happening, it was President Trump said, then pull the trigger. And Benjamin Netanyahu fired the first shot. And then, of course, here came the Americans. So let me tell you what else is going on. Let's go to the situation in Qatar. In Qatar, the defense ministry says that it has stopped the attacks on its country in accordance with a pre-approved security plan. Qatar was able to intercept all missiles before they reached their country's territory, and it was able to shoot theirs down. A long-range early warning radar system in northern Qatar, or Qatar, was targeted by an Iranian missile, according to one of the Al Jazeera's reporters. Nobody was injured in Qatar. The Qatari foreign ministry said that the targeting of Qatar by a neighbor cannot be accepted under any justification or pretext, pointing out that it has always distanced itself from these regional conflicts. Qatar would actually try to do some of the mediation with Iran, with other nations. Qatar was targeted twice last year when Iran mounted an attack on the U.S. military base back in June, and Israel struck Hamas that was holding a meeting in Qatar back in September, okay? Now, what about Saudi Arabia? Well, a statement by the Saudi Foreign Ministry has confirmed that Iran did target the capital of Saudi Arabia and the kingdom's eastern region. These attacks cannot be justified under any pretext or in any way. They came territory to even be used to target Iran. But Iran fired on Saudi Arabia anyway. And Saudi Arabia has been shooting down those incoming missiles with the help of the United States. And then there's Iraq. And an Al Jazeera correspondent is reporting that in Iraq, the Erbil airport, which is in the Kurdish region of the northern Iraq, was targeted twice today. A drone attack at the airport there, but air defense intercepted these drones and shot them down. The United States still has troops in Iraq's Kurdish region as part of an international coalition against ISIS, which is due to be wound up by September under a deal between Washington, D.C. and Baghdad. But that could change. And meanwhile, a drone strike targeting the headquarters of Hezbollah armed group southwest of Baghdad, killing 2 people, according to Associated Press. Later, there were reports of more strikes hitting al-Nusra, an Iraqi military base housing former paramilitary group, which is now integrated into a regular army, according to a spokesman. It's the Iranians who hit them. The Iraqi government security media cell made the announcement that they were targeted by 2 airstrikes. And then, so now Qatar, Kuwait, Bahrain, the United Arab Emirates, all temporarily have closed their airspaces, and they've all condemned Iran's attacks on these territories. Sea vessels operating in the Gulf said they have received messages on the closure of the Straits of Hormuz, according to the United Kingdom's Maritime Trade Operations Agencies. And the key oil export route connects the biggest Gulf oil producers such as Saudi Arabia, Iran, Iraq, and the United Arab Emirates, along with the Gulf of Oman and the Arabian Sea, are all right now temporarily on hold for cargo ships. So here's the thing. So now all these Arab nations who have they found out just what Iran's about, that Iran was a backstabbing, lying, demonically charged, murderous, torturous, wicked, evil regime. 47 years of tyranny. It took the 47th president to take them down. But all of these surrounding Arab nations are finding out that Iran was never your friend. Iran hated everyone. If you weren't a radical Shiite following the radical leader, the Ayatollah Ali Khamenei, then you were going to hell, in their opinion. You were no different than the infidel Christians and Jews in their eyes. And they're showing you exactly what they mean. Now, while that's all going on, here's something that's stunning. The United Kingdom and France both came out and immediately said, we have nothing to do with this. We don't agree with this, and we don't have anything to do with the attack on Iran. I thought the United Kingdom, I thought the French were on our side. I know they are, but are they? Where is Keir Starmer anyway? Instead of helping out in this situation, he's running from the battle and trying to protect his own self from the Epstein scandal, that because he chose Madelson to be the United Kingdom ambassador to the United States. And Madelson was apparently in the pedophile bed, or at least economically somewhere involved with Epstein. I'm not sure how, but he was certainly in that guy's camp. And of course, they will deal with him and Prince Andrew. So maybe that's why Keir Starmer didn't have enough time to be involved. But we didn't need him anyway. But I wonder what they're going to do now. And let me just ask another question. Where are the Democrats in America? No wonder they wouldn't stand for the U.S. hockey team. No wonder they wouldn't stand for American citizens against illegal alien criminals. No wonder they sat there during the State of the Union on their hands, or yelled and screamed at the president, or 80 of them didn't even show up. And now, guess what? In the greatest military exercise victory in the history since World War II, they're condemning President Trump right now. Mondami, I'll read his words. And this is just one Democrat. Ilhan Omar is losing her mind right now in anger. And Rashid Tlaib, or Tlaib Rashid, or whatever her name is, and all these other idiots, like Chucky Schumer and all these people. But here's what the little commie, Zohan Mondami, here's what he said. The New York City mayor. Mondami condemns the U.S. military strikes on Iran Saturday, stress testing his in what was supposed to be a productive working relationship with President Donald Trump. Today's military strikes, he said, by the United States and Israel mark a catastrophic escalation in an illegal act of war aggression. Mondami said today that at an unrelated event in Brooklyn, New York, bombing cities, killing civilians, opening up a new theater of war. Americans do not want this. Americans do not want another war in pursuit of regime change. We want an answer to the affordability crisis. We want peace. Mondami's condemnation of President Trump's military move comes on the heels of their meeting they had Thursday at the White House, in which Mondami came asking Trump to help him with the housing development process in New York City, of which President Trump said, I will look into helping you. So, okay, Mondami, you came for help. He's willing to help you. Now you stand with him against this evil regime who just killed 32,000 of their own people, folks. They just murdered 32,000 of their own people in cold blood. I mean, they tortured, they raped, they murdered, they molested, they butchered. And this has been going on for years. Are you serious? But Mondami, the little commie, is, they speak before they think. And they're not supporting the troops. He didn't say, I want to stand with President Donald Trump. He didn't say, I want to stand with the troops, our brave troops. It's come down to the United States and Israel against the world. And in the United States, half of this country is against the other half of this country and Israel. In other words, it's coming down to the Christians and the Jews, which is exactly what Jesus said would happen in the last days. I hate war. My oldest son fought for a whole year in Kandahar province, the spiritual Mecca, if you will, of the Taliban, the birthplace of the Taliban. He fought the Taliban. He was a machine gunner for a year. I hate war. My youngest son, 6 years in the Navy. His wife's still in the Navy. Pray for them. But if you read your Bible, God had to use war. Israel had to fight for its existence. It had to take on tribes of Nephilim and enemies against them. War. King David was a warrior. They had to fight. The early church was slaughtered. They had to push back. The Jews were almost exterminated by Hitler. They had to fight back. And do you realize that the last thing that will happen on this planet I'm on right here, the very last thing that will happen is Jesus Christ will come, the second coming of Christ now. The second coming returns with 10,000s of his saints riding white horses, will come to execute judgment upon the earth in the great battle of Armageddon. The great battle, the final battle, when the enemies of darkness will be destroyed, and Lucifer and the beast and the false prophet will be cast into the eternal abyss of the lake of fire. That is the final battle. God hates war, but he has a book called the Book of the Wars of the Lord. It's mentioned in your Bible. It's one of the 5 books that's mentioned in the Bible that are not in the Bible, like Enoch and Jasher, and the Book of Remembrance, and the Book of the Wars of the Lord, and others. Give your life to Jesus Christ. Now, I'm reporting on all this, but my mission is to save souls. Sure, I had to tell you what's happening, and I hate the fact that this is happening. But I'm proud of the president, and I'm proud of our men and women in uniform, and I'm proud of the stand for justice for the Iranian people and for the Israeli people and for the people of the Middle East. But my job is to win souls, and I'm on a mission right now, getting ready to preach 5-night crusades in India. And many of you have sent offerings, and it is so needed and so thankful. And I'm pleading with you today, and that word is correct. I'm pleading with you that if you can give offerings today, and certainly Sunday, March 1st, the 16th anniversary of us being live being online and setting up the first ever online church in the world. If you can bless us, if you can help us, please give your very best. We do this every year on the anniversary day, and you can just tie it to helping us with India and with the blankets and with the Bibles we send out and the prayer cloths and all the things we do in the ministry, everything that we do in the ministry. So please give your very best offering. Ask God what you should give, and give what you can. And some of you have already given, and some people are giving a second time, and people are making pledges, and I think Sunday is when they're going to honor those pledges. And it's so needed. There's 4 different ways to give. Go to my website at paulbegleyprophecy.com. You can give there. Pick up the phone and call right now, 765-414-2230. That's 765-414-2230. Or you can text give. You grab your phone and you can text give. Text the word give to this number, 765-722-2549. Or send a check or money order in the mail and send it to Paul Begley Prophecy. That's Paul Begley Prophecy, 1048-B. That's 1048-B, Sagamore Parkway West. That's Sagamore Parkway West, Box 33, Box 33, West Lafayette, Indiana. That's West Lafayette, Indiana, 47906. We will be filming these crusades. We will be sending video out to you guys on praying with people, going into the villages, seeing the crowds, the worship. You're going to get to see it. If we can do it live, we will. If we can't, we will record it and then we will upload it. But you will see it. And you will get to see Sammy, and you'll get to meet some of these 330 pastors. And we will give you a full show you what your donations have done, how it has changed the world. We can do it one soul at a time. God bless. We love you guys. God bless. I'll be back with more current world events and how they relate to the biblical prophecies we're living in the last days.